Hi, good morning from Toronto. I'm here. I hope I'm audible and visible.
Yes, Dr. Haider.
Can you see me and hear me, please?
Yes, all good.
Super. Okay. I hope everyone is doing fine. Thank you for joining and thank you for giving me the opportunity in as well. Appreciate the participation of all the business uh, and investment specialists and business personalities from all around the world. Well, our intention is to help the businesses to grow. We take every challenges into consideration very fast, and we have a robust team that work very um, quickly to assess the situation, such as like COVID, such as like the war in Ukraine and the impact on that. So I received numbers of calls and emails and communications from different business houses all around the world saying that, especially from Asia, that they need alternative sources for different items. Like from Europe, they're talking about alternative sources for energy. From Asia, they're looking for alternative sources for food grains, wheat, maize, and so on, and cooking well. And some of them are also looking for um, food. I mean, food for the animals. So these are something very new, evolving. Like even India, from India, they're looking for masoor dal, the lentils, as you know. So without lentils, India cannot run. Now somebody is looking for masoor dal, and I'm sitting here in Canada as of today, and looking after the business in the Northern America and Southern America for now. Next week I'll be in Europe and Africa. So that these are, all these areas that are now really hot, that are very attractive at the moment. At the same time, our Chinese friend and Southeast Asian countries, they're playing, these are all safe havens. Right now, the tension is in Europe. So anything between Europe and Asia is impossible. Like some of the countries like Bangladesh, Nepal, Sri Lanka, these are the countries, even Malaysia, Indonesia, they were heavily dependent. Now, today we have a guest, Mr. Alan Ho. He is a prominent businessman from Malaysia with his wide range of connections and with wide range of knowledge and know-how about Southeast Asia. And he is the president and chairman of the One Belt One Road initiative, say, overshare Southeast Asia and ASEAN countries. So he's a major role player. Here we are also, as a partner of Mr. Alan Ho, connecting all our investors to some of the major projects, and very glad to declare we have a partner right now from the USA that has a capability of deploying up to $30 billion in a single project. So starting from a $5 million up to $30 billion, and these are all direct investment bankers that have funded many big organizations and companies in Asia. Likewise, they have funded in Vietnam, in China, in Korea, Japan, Bangladesh even. They have funded Biman Bangladesh Airlines. So those kind of India, they have funded Pakistan, they have funded everywhere. It's a global company and been very active. So we are their partner for expanding their business activities in Africa and in Asia. So with Alan Ho and our other partners, we'll be working hand in hand. But I'm sure Mr. Ho has a lot of good information to share today. So I'd like to welcome Mr. Ho to start his presentation, and then we will be here to answer your questions. Please feel free. All our friends, I encourage you to please raise questions, and we want to make it interactive today. And I'll have some more exciting declaration today that I have not given. So just wait for that. And in the middle, we will come and declare that. With all this, I'd like to welcome our good friend, Mr. Alan Ho, to start his presentation and speak in this webinar for the benefit of our friends all across the world. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Haider. A very good day for each and every one of the participants today. I believe all of you are leaders in your own respective right. I think today, as I said, I would like to thank Dr. Haider and Mr. Avi for inviting me onto this platform to share with you opportunities in the Southeast Asia region. Now, I do not know how many of you have heard of this free trade agreement, which is the largest ever being signed in the world and the history of humankind, which is called the RCEP. RCEP, it actually represents Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership. I'm going to share with all of you a little bit about the feature of the RCEP and how by working together with Dr. Haider's platform, all of you can actually take advantage of the free trade agreement as well, with our platforms and so on. In a while, I'm going to share with you some of the slides and explain to you exactly who we are, our platforms and so on, so that you get a good understanding of where we are coming from, and then I will also share with you what are the opportunities they are in the region. If you ask me, it's just enormous, it's just enormous. And as I said, like Dr. Haider just now was mentioning, the world is going haywire, with the trade war, with the actual war, everything is, turned upside down, especially when it comes to supply chain, commodities, being in the trade platform, dealing with so many countries. I deal every day with 15 countries, so I can see the actual situation that is happening in this region itself. And I believe whatever is happening in this region will not be isolated from yours. So we are living in the same world, same globe. So whatever affect your side will also affect our side. Any sanction, any slowdown will mean the delay in supply chain. That is why a lot of cars are not being able to deliver, even a simple thing like that. Why? Simply because they don't have enough chips to put into the car for the car to run properly. So these are situations that is happening. But as I said, as a business person, I always vouch, we are businessmen. I don't look at politics. I don't play politics. We will find our ways and means to prosper and grow. Whatever is happening, whatever countries are doing among the politicians, we will only look at the angle on how to take advantage of the whole situation. So as I said, the whole trade war, if you really ask me, it really benefited the ASEAN countries, especially Southeast Asia countries. You can ask me any questions if you want to. Let's treat this as a very interactive session. As I said, we are all friends. And in business, we need friends. That's the most important thing. That's most important. We need friends. So treat each other as friends. From today, we can start connecting and then communicating for the future benefits for all of us. All right. So I'm going to share a few of my slides just to give you at least you have a visual of what I'm trying to say. Rather than just listening to me, it's good to have something to see, lah. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. A quick check. Can you all see?
Yes.
Can I? Okay, very good. First of all, thank you very much for all of you being present today. Today, I would like to introduce to you the association that I am heading. The association that I'm heading is called One Belt, One Road Southeast Asia NGO Alliance. Now, a lot of people ask me, both in Malaysia. I'm actually located in Malaysia. Our head office is in Malaysia. Many people ask me in Malaysia, in other parts of the world, what's the difference between this One Belt One Road and so many other One Belt One Road that is being formed in the respective countries. In fact, in Malaysia, if I'm not mistaken, there are about 3 or 4 One Belt One Road association. What I can say is simple. We are the largest One Belt One Road association in the world, because why? We do not cover one country. Most of the association, they only cover one country. Whereas our association, we cover the whole ASEP region, meaning the 10 Southeast Asia country plus the 5 FTA countries. Namely, the FTA countries are China, Japan, Korea, New Zealand, and Australia. So that is a huge opportunity there. All right, so there's the distinct difference between the One Belt One Road Association today you're being introduced to the ones that you have actually come across. Okay, now just a quick introduction about myself. I've been holding as a president for the past 3 years of this association. It is being formed together with our China counterpart, and is registered in Malaysia and in China as well. Now, there's something very interesting that I want to share with you. One Belt One Road, every time you hear the word One Belt One Road, it's all about China, China, China. It's actually not. It's basically a global business Silk Road. It's a rebranding of the traditional or historical Silk Road. Is actually the same principle. All right. Now, when I took over, I don't speak a single word of Chinese. All right. So in Malaysia, they call me banana. What is banana? Banana, that means English educated and not Chinese educated. So I don't speak a single word. So every time I interact with China, every time I got invited to China for all the trade conference and World International Trade Conference and so on, I need to have an interpreter with me. So much so. After about a year, I said, "Oh, this cannot be happening. I cannot not speak Chinese." So what happened is I took the initiative to go and learn the language itself. Now, being a 50-over-year-old man, to learn a new language, I then tell you, it's not easy. It's not easy. And I don't have a teacher. And but you take a wild guess, who is my teacher? Mr. YouTube. Okay. Yes, Mr. YouTube is my teacher. So every night when I still, at night I still do work, I will just switch on YouTube, choose a Mandarin movie or a program. I just switch it on, and then I will just listen. But yes, this is how you learn, because why? Whatever you listen, it goes into your subconscious mind. So eventually, you somehow, or rather, you know how to use the word eventually. So now I'm quite proud to say that I can hold high-level meetings with the Chinese counterparts. Even though I tell them my Mandarin are not as perfect as they are, but the most important thing is they understand me. That's what communication is all about, right? So in Malaysia also, I'm the executive chairman of Nusantara Sino Global Holdings. Today, it is one of the largest trade and investment organization, consulting organization in the region. Because why? We have offices in 15 countries. All right. And then, of course, my core business before I went into trade and investment is actually I have an organization called Chapter 1 Asia group of companies, where this whole group are specialized in branding and image consultancy. We are the largest in Malaysia so far. So in terms of branding, if you need any advice, you can always consult me. I think I'm pretty good at that. I call myself in Malaysia a 21st century branding guru, because I always say 21st century is totally different from the 20th century as far as brandings are concerned. We will talk about branding in another platform. All right. So now, moving forward, this is me. As I said, before the pandemic, I got invited to China and majority of the Southeast Asia countries to attend forum trade negotiations and so on and so forth. So every time when I'm there, I am being invited to as a speaker as well. And then, of course, during the pandemic, we cannot travel. They do not let me go. They still get me, and then I will have to do virtual. Especially in China, they are still very active doing virtual trade conference. They are still organizing trade conference in China, even though during the pandemic. So I was again invited to do virtually for them and so on. Because why? The importance of the position that I'm holding is because I interact with the 15 ASEP countries. So to China, this is actually a very important platform for them as far as trade and investment is concerned. All right. And then, of course, every time I attend all this trade conference and so on, I think I've signed hundreds of MOU. Every time I attend, there's an MOU signed. But I always ask this question: what happened to all the MOU being signed? Some of them I know is for press purpose, for branding purpose. But only few that I know that went through well, But majority of them didn't turn out well, So this is something also I am going to embark on a journey to make sure that we sign MOU not for the sake of signing MOU, right? Okay, and then of course in our platform, this is my two principle in life. I actually incorporated it into the organization. All our initiatives must bring benefits to businesses in the respective countries, whether you're big or small. That is very important because why? To me, I believe the more people we help, the more we get returns. So I have a principle of as I said, I've gone through a 50-year-old journey. So at the end of the day, I believe one thing: money is not everything. I always believe when you do the things right, when you help enough people, the money will come in automatically. But if you focus otherwise, it's going to be very evil. You get frustrated very easily and very fast. So that is our platform principles. And of course, all our initiatives must eventually bring benefits to the respective countries that we are investing or going into. This is only fair. So if you see the benefit and the values that we bring to countries and organizations, we are very well accepted. That is one of the reasons. So that is why our platform is actually nothing to do with government. It's not government initiated. It's all private initiated. But I can share with you, government contacted us and wanted to work together with us. And that's how effective we are. Even China government, central government, I was very shocked. One day, my counterparts from China called me and said, "Hey, you have been investigated." I said, "What? Investigated?" Yeah, he said China embassy in Malaysia actually did a thorough research on me and who is this Alan Ho and so on, and then they reported back to Beijing, and then Beijing connected with our counterparts in China, and then they expressed the interest to work together with our platform. Because why? Honestly, I'm going to share with you in the short while. The platform that we have created has not been created ever, before. And even some of the government agency were saying, even the government themselves cannot do what we have actually done and achieved today. All right. Okay. Now, this is these are the 15 ASEP countries that we are in. I said we have physical office in all these countries. We have presidents in each country, meaning that we have actually appointed presidents. And one of the criteria when we choose the respective presidents in each country is they must be a businessman themselves. They must be in business. They must priority is in trade and investment. That's one of my priority. And I was lucky. I'm able to find all these respective gentlemen who are all very, very effective in doing what we are doing. That is why what makes us so powerful and so strong today. So imagine we have offices in 15 countries, and all these people who are heading our office there are all businessmen themselves. You see, so when we have when they become the president of OBOSI, the one criteria I stress to them is you must build a platform which is a platform that is specialized in trade and investment in your country. Because why? We are championing ASEP, the free trade agreement. So you need to have this platform. So all of them actually created this trade and investment platform in their respective country. So when I combine these 15 countries trade and investment platform, you can imagine how big the the platform is like, you know. So that is why government are very, very keen to work together with us, because why? We have connection to the masses, you know. We don't only deal with the government, but we have real connections with the business people themselves. So that is why when it comes to business matching, you know, even our Malaysian government, there's a department that is in charge of all the SMEs in Malaysia, have officially appointed our platform as the all SMEs in Malaysia. You see? So this is likewise, all countries will do the same initiative as well. All right. Now, having said about the trade platform, also created trade councils in all these offices. Why the trade councils are important? Because why? They are very specifically, besides looking at trade, they are looking at FDI and ODI for the respective country. You know, FDI is for foreign direct investment. ODI is basically for outward direct investment, meaning the businesses from their country going abroad. So that is why to give explanation about RCEP, because I was asked this question by even reporters who come and interview me about RCEP. When we talk about RCEP, I think our platform is the leader. Even our government are behind us. You know, we know more than what they know sometimes. You know, so they asked me. The reporter actually asked me, "What is can I describe what is RCEP?" I said, RCEP is very simple. You know, it's just like all of us, we live in our house. Right? We feel very comfortable. We close, because there's a door, we close our door. So whenever we feel like it, we open the door, we invite our guests in, and then we entertain our guests. Correct? Very comfortable. When our guests leave, we close back the door. Right? RCEP is like the door has been taken away from your home. So now there's no more doors. People can peep into your house anytime that they like. They can even walk into your house anytime that they like. So that is why understanding RCEP is very important, and why RCEP is really, it can be destructive, but again, it brings huge opportunity. You know, as I always tell my counterparts, if you are prepared and understand the whole RCEP agreement and how it functions, you will ride the RCEP wave like a champion. You will grow, you know, like never before. If you do not know about RCEP, say for example now, today, many of you are from different regions, you know, so you do not know about RCEP, you will never be able to take advantage of the whole initiative, correct? So if you do not know how to take initiative, especially for those who are in the region, the 15 countries, the RCEP wave is going to hit you like a tsunami. It's as strong as that, you know. So that is why today I thank Dr. Haider for inviting me to share with you a little bit about RCEP. You know why? Because even though you're not in the region, I believe by using our platform, by leveraging on our platform, you can leverage on the RCEP agreement. You see or not? So that is why the power of networking, you know, that's the benefit of it. All right. Now, again, just to share with you, this is our current Prime Minister of Malaysia, Dato' Seri Ismail Sabri. He actually invited me. It's not easy to sit on the same table as the Prime Minister. So it means it says something like, invited me for one of the entrepreneur event, because he heard from the lady next to him who is wearing a scarf about our platform. So I briefed him, and he really happy about our platform, and he endorsed our platform. We even signed an MOA with the ministries and so on and so forth, right? So we are well recognized even by the government, even though we started as a private entity, okay? Now, RCEP. Let me just share with you a little bit about RCEP. What exactly is RCEP? Now, RCEP technically consists of 30% of the world economy. It's huge. No FTA ever been signed that is that big. 30% of the world economy, and it also comprised of the 30% of the world population. So leaders, imagine the enormous opportunities that you can gain from these particular initiatives. All right. Now, these are some of the features. The RCEP is technically is very modern. Why they call it very modern? Because why it emphasizes a lot on technology. You know, IR 4.0, e-commerce. You know, how does the 5 countries work together in terms of technology and e-commerce, right? And then now, for all you know, most of the FTA, I don't even look at it because why? It only favors the big boys. You know, the Fortune 500 companies, the listed companies. Where else, RCEP agreement is the only one that I ever know of that actually emphasize more on micro, small, and medium-sized enterprise. Can you imagine? Where got FTA that is functioning like that? That is why we work and we help a lot of SMEs to transform. Like in Malaysia, I told my fellow friends and colleagues in Malaysia, I said, hey, RCEP is here. Industrial Revolution 4.0 is here. The world, the real globalization is in front of our door. You know, so it's we are no longer able to do the same thing over and again and expect a different results. And at the same time, as I said, this is the big opportunity for all of us to transform. So Malaysia is no longer your playing field. You should now migrate or move beyond our geographical boundaries, you know. So, but most important thing is, it's not the geographical boundaries of our geography. More important is actually our boundaries up here, right? Right. So now the other portion is comprehensive. It's very comprehensive. I actually read thoroughly on the whole 20 chapters of the whole agreement. All right. It's very high quality. It brings together a single rule book. Now this is very important. Single rule book means there's no confusion. A lot of FTAs being signed, they've got different rules, different rules in different countries. You know, applications is all different. But in RCEP, they make this very clear. One rule book rules everything. So it's so easy for businesses like you and me to flourish in this environment. Because why? If you have different rule, one agreement, but different country implement it differently, it's going to be a lot of headaches for businesses. But in the RCEP agreement, only one book rules them all. That's how good it is. And of course, mutually beneficial. This is another very important aspect of the whole agreement. Mutually beneficial meaning doesn't mean that you are Laos, you know, Myanmar, the so-called third world economy, and we are dealing with China, you know, Australia, Japan, Korea, you know, these are all very developed economy. But in RCEP, the rule says that all countries are equal in terms of trade and investment. So that is the power of this particular agreement. That is why our platform championed this agreement, because we feel that business people should know the agreement, because only when you know how to take advantage and utilize it, you know. Yeah, right. If you do not know, then you will just say, well, it's just another agreement, right? But it is definitely not, leaders. Okay. And of course, these are some of the very important, I just summarize it, very important features of the whole agreement. Trade in goods, you know, they are technically going to achieve easily 92%, but their target is 100%. All goods transacted, imported, exported within the 15 countries will be tariff-free one day. Okay? Now, again, the rule is the moment you sign, you ratify the agreement, the starting point, 60% of your goods are already tariff-free already. That's their condition. So that is why Malaysia just officially launched this RCEP agreement on the 18th of March. You know, so now between us and China and the rest of the other countries, 60% of our goods are already tariff-free. Can you imagine businesses still do not in Malaysia? I would say in Malaysia, 98% of the businesses that I've encountered still do not know what is RCEP. It's so, you know, it's so, I would say, backward. You know, even our government is not really doing their part. So we as the NGO, we take the initiatives. Like this coming Sunday, I'm invited to another states to actually talk about RCEP and the importance of it to the group of businesses in that region, which have never heard of RCEP. You know, these are, again, as I said, I love to bring all this benefit to all these entrepreneurs, because why? If I can help them, at the end of the day, I think I will also benefit from it. All right. Okay. The rules of origin. This is very interesting. Now, what is rules of origin? Imagine today if you build a smartphone. Inside there are very many components, right? Now, if one of the components of the phone comes from US, let's say the chip Intel comes from US, your phone when is being exported, let's say it is being manufactured in Malaysia, exported to the other 15 countries, you will be taxed because why? One of the components is from US. But if all the components of the phone is all within these 15 countries, that phone is free of tax. You see the power of it. Now again, why against certain parts of the governments are against this particular agreement? Because why? It actually create a supply chain within the region or the community. So that means the business people will not go out of the region to go and buy or purchase something to put into their products anymore. They will just source it within these 15 countries. All right. Okay. And then the trade and customs procedure is going to be streamlined. I give you an example. Perishable goods. Their condition is must leave the port within 6 hours. Perishable goods. They have these rules. If it doesn't leave the port within 6 hours, that's what their terms and conditions are. So penalty will be imposed to the particular countries. So they are very, very serious about this. All right. Again, another feature is trade in services. Before RCEP, services are not exportable to another country in the region. The government will not allow services to come in because they do not want you to compete. But under the RCEP agreement, more than 65% of the service industry are able now to move around within these 15 countries. You see the opportunities there, right? Again, investment now. Committed to prohibit performance are required. This is again another fantastic feature of the agreement, investment. Imagine today if I want to go to say Singapore to set up a factory or set up a company or invest there. The Singapore government will ask me to answer a few questions. Prove to me what benefit you bring to Singapore. Give me a 5-year plan. What are your ROIs? What are your predicted business growth? And what are your past record and so on? They will ask you tons and tons of questions. Only public listed company can afford to do that, right? Okay. Now, under this particular agreement, no questions will be asked. Meaning you can go into any other countries and invest and build your company where the government will no longer query or ask you for all these documentations. Right? So it's so much easy now. Okay? And e-commerce, of course, is one of the features where they encourage, in the future, all these 15 countries will link all their e-commerce together. It's going to be very powerful, as I said. And government procurement is also another thing. Government procurement meaning the government tender, the government jobs. Usually, all countries are reserved for their own local contractors, correct? But under the agreement, this is no longer applicable anymore. Meaning, Malaysia government got any tender, a Vietnamese company can actually come in and do the tender. No questions asked. So that means, as I said, the door has been taken away. So that is why I told our business people in Malaysia, if you do not take heed of this, the competition is going to hit you very, very badly. It's always like this, if you watch Spider-Man, with great power come great responsibility, correct? With great opportunities come great competitions. It's as simple as that, right? So this is what RCEP is all about. So why I'm sharing this with all of you leaders here today? I know most of you are out from this particular continent. As I said, it's a very vibrant continent. This agreement is very, very, I would say, is one of the best FTA agreement I've ever come across, and it brings huge opportunity. And I don't believe we should limit this to the 15 countries. I believe all of you can take advantage of this particular agreement as well. How? You can always come on board our platform. We will help you to probably invest in Malaysia, get a partner in Malaysia or some of the other RCEP countries, and you can start trading and you know. So we encourage you to do that. As I said, pandemic hit us very badly. It teaches a great lesson. If we do not learn from this lesson, we will never learn, right? So that is why we are no longer, we should not, in fact, restrict ourselves to our own geographical boundaries, you know, which means our countries. The world is really now globalized, especially after the pandemic. You know, those days before the pandemic, where got us having this Zoom meeting, correct or not? This is one very good example. You know, there's no such thing as Zoom meeting. I feel so uncomfortable doing Zoom meeting. You know, I said it's so ineffective. But for all you know, after these 2 years, we are so comfortable with doing Zoom meetings, and we close even big deals doing Zoom meeting. Can you imagine? We signed our partnership agreement with China, one of the fourth largest logistic company in China, which is called Sichuan Logistic. They are government linked. We signed the partnership agreement with them through virtual, everything Zoom, and then witnessed by our economic ministers who officiated and witnessed the whole signing ceremony. You know, before the pandemic, there's no such thing, and this is not possible, right? So that is why why I'm trying this to share with all of you today is things change. We must as well change. If not, we are going to be left behind. You know, all right? So again, just to a quick one. This is what we are doing this year. This is something that we are going to start this year already. We have been planning for the last one year and a half during the pandemic. This is what we're going to initiate this year already. Now, we are already talking with some of the few provinces in China in building the ASEP Trade Pavilion in China. The first place that we are going to incorporate this pavilion is actually in Sichuan itself. You know, this is how we negotiate with the local government. The local government, after negotiation, probably we are pretty good in our negotiation. They are willing to come up with the capex. All right, they give us the building, the place, right? And then I said, hey, I'm going to invite 15 countries traders to come to your province and invest. You know, what? I'm sure you can do better. So we are able to squeeze again 2 years free rental. Okay. Yeah. But because again, I said my plan for this trade pavilion, I'm not going to do it just for trading, normal goods trading. I said I'm going to make it into a culinary food and culture village in this particular pavilion, meaning all the 15 countries are all their best food and the cultures will be exported and imported into China, this province. And then I'm sure because of food, especially Chinese, you know, we love food. If there's a one-stop center where 15 countries delicacy and you go there and enjoy the food, and at the same time experience their culture, remember like for example their dance, their songs and so on and so forth, I tell you the Chinese will love this concept. You know, because as I said, I came from a branding background, so I believe this branding is going to be very powerful. I shared this with all the few of the provincial government people that I interact with. They love the idea. So this is something very big that we are going to do. And on top of that, you know what I squeeze again? This is the word, not nice to say squeeze, but they offer, I would say, right? They even offered us, each traders that goes into this particular pavilion, 50,000 yuan for renovation. Where can you get this deal in any of the world? Have you heard of this before? Never, right? But it is happening in our platform together with China. Of misconception about China and the ASEAN countries. Trust me, I watch YouTube. I use YouTube to learn how to speak Chinese. So I know YouTube pretty well. I know all majority of the channels in YouTube that carries news about ASEAN and China carry fake news. If you are there personally, then you know the real China. It is not what it has been described in the social media. That is one thing I can vouch for you. Because anyway, I'm a Chinese, you know, but I'm Malaysian Chinese. I'm very bred and bred in Malaysia. So I'm a very much Malaysian, you know. But I can tell you, China, it is not what some of you may have actually perceived the country as. You know, it is not. All right. And this is again another very important place for investment leaders. It is called Hainan Island. Now, if you go to Hainan Island, if you today you can Google in YouTube as well, the development in Hainan Island will not, I would say, is at par or even supersede Dubai. That's how advanced this island is. What happened is the Chinese government actually announced that they're going to transform the whole Hainan Island into a free trade island. Now, how big Hainan Island is? It's almost 50 times Singapore. It's as big as Taiwan. That's how big this island is. And the whole island is transformed into a free trade island. That is why our office, we are already planning in June to have our physical office in Hainan. Because why? The whole island is free trade. Tax are very good. Doing business are so easy. You know, everything is everything all in all. The government is very friendly at this moment. You know, as I said, because of the trade war and so on, sometimes it benefits all of us. You know why? Because government becomes more friendlier, you know, towards smaller countries, you know. So why don't we just take advantage of this, you know, instead of sitting there and then enjoying the view, right? So Hainan is also another place that some of you may want to consider venturing into. Beautiful island, lots of opportunity. They're transforming the whole island into a international financial and exchange hub. All right. Moving forward, as I said, this is the thing. It's 47 times the size of Singapore. Now, why they are moving so fast with Hainan? This is again, do not quote me. I think they have enough of Hong Kong with their political issues and so on. So they are going to make Hainan into the next Hong Kong. You know, so that nobody is going to use it against them and then you know, politicize the whole trade issues, you know. So that is why Hainan is another destination for those of you who are you know, you have appetite of venturing and investment. This is another area or island that you should take into consideration. Google them in YouTube. You'll get a lot of information. All right, and then again, as I mentioned earlier, we have one of the world's largest trade and investment platform now in our hand, right? Now imagine our 15 countries trade and investment platform, and we work together with Dr. Haider's Toronto Business Investment Summit, who, as I know, covering Canada, US, UK, and the African countries. So if both our platforms are combined together, we basically consists of the world economy already. So we can be a force to be reckoned with. That is what one of the meeting I shared with Dr. Haider, who concurred with me as well. So ladies and gentlemen, you know, this is a fantastic platform. You know, we are very business friendly. We are very business focused. You know, if you want to, let's work together and enjoy our business life. You know, it's fantastic. You know, it's exciting. I can vouch. It's fantastic and it's really, really exciting. Okay. Thank you very much, everyone, for your kind attention. Should you have any questions, feel free to ask me. You know, if I can, I will answer you correctly. Okay. If I do not know, I will tell you I do not know. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Mr. Ho, Mr. Alan Ho, my good friend and partner in progress, partner in business. Well, you see, this is very easy. Thank you. I'm sure people will have questions. Now, I have a quick question to you, Alan. Is
yes.
From these 15 countries, what is your plan for 2022 to expand this to be how many countries?
From these 15 countries, yes. You mean? To how many countries? But can I have a little bit more clearer on that?
Like,
from these 15 countries?
Under your banner right now, you have 15 countries that your organization has expanded into South Asia.
Right.
But there are other economic centers, economic powers, economically developing countries that are coming up, like Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, like Maldives, like
Understand.
Pakistan, India, and it could be even farther off because these are all Southeast Asian countries, and they are all economically vibrant, and your 30%
Right.
could be even more, 40, 50% of the world's economy you can be controlling from that point of view. So what is your expansion plan in terms of this country-based expansion?
Now, that is why it just struck my mind a couple of days ago only. So when I was looking back at our friendship for so many years, and then the things that you are doing in Canada, and your network of connections, it just struck me. I said, hey, again, we should not just limit ourselves to 15 ASEP countries. We built the and a half to build this platform. In just a short span of time, we are able to build such a gigantic platform. What is stopping us from working together with Dr. Haider and his network of connections? So that is why that is where I start opening up again and say we should welcome other countries to be part of our platform. Be with the community. Now, if you read economic digest and then reports and so on, Asia is the future economic growth. It is the future economy. So we are actually sitting in the gold mine. So that is why, as I said, there are so many to go by. That is why I'm really very happy to offer whatever we have in our platform with the other countries who are willing to join us, join this particular platform. We are very open. Trust me, because why? Remember what I said earlier, even my personal principle. If we are able to work together and help each other and help a lot of businesses, eventually, whatever we want in life, it will come to us, Yeah.
Thank you. Absolutely. Yeah. So you are pretty open to any countries in a way to be in this.
Yes,
we are
yes,
this organization,
yes.
and we can have country president in many countries, and we can. The policy that you have supported to some of the governments to formulate as a regulations, as a policy,
Right.
it's classic. I must appreciate and admire your capability and your workmanship for last 2 years. You have really worked very hard, and you have done a great job. I must admire that. And
Thank you.
To be expanded now for the greater benefit of our friends all around, because
Yes.
as you know, our presence in more than 150 countries, and some of the countries would be very keen to join into your platform together. And even say, I was talking to you 2 days back that it just came in my mind that, well, why don't you already expanded into 15? Why not we make it with 30?
Yeah.
And, likewise, yesterday I was talking to one of my good friend here in Canada, Susan Gong. She's a very high standing woman here, and doing a migration consulting business and other investment oriented business as well. So she is a professional CA and CPA, and also Canadian refugee and immigration departments specialist. So I was telling Susan that the business she has got in her forte, this can be expanded. Likewise, I'll be going to Africa next week, as I said, and any country I go is easy to tell my local country partner that why don't you promote this one. It's easy for me to say that, hey, this RCEP is an organization, and this is what they do, and this is how you can get benefited. And I'm not talking to Tom, Dick, and Harry. I'm talking to, as you said, a very high level of people in each country, a very high level of business personalities in most of the countries. So that is where we can really leverage and expand your activities and help other friends, those who are here. Because during the pandemic, our thought process, we are really we were sitting at home. So what happens when you are inside a room and there is no you cannot go out and see something, then your vision, you have a big vision that you want to be a big businessman, want to be an industrialist, you want to do this, you want to do that, you want to employ thousands of people, you want to ride a Bentley or a Rolls Royce and so on. Then when you stay inside the wall for a longer time, then your vision gets blurred. You lose your vision are shrinking and getting smaller. So that is what has happened. And some of the big business friend of mine, I see they talk all nonsense these days. I'm sorry for my, but because you see, they lost a lot of business, they lost a lot of money, they lost everything, and they have a big pressure on them. And now they think, they feel that, oh no, I cannot really do this. So part of our game today, as you said, that this pandemic, and now there is another war also. So that's also hampering our business. So this is where last 2 years we have been, helping our friends. I cannot name all of them, but some of the good friends we have helped them. Even someone really exporting T-shirts, say for example, I have helped them. I have not taken any money, but I have helped some of my friends to really go and sell T-shirts in some of the countries. Some of them I have helped from Malaysia. A lady, I have helped her to export Muslim dresses to Canada. A friend of mine here in Canada, he's not here today, unfortunately. So it's the cost is small, but help, but it has been helped during the to 2020 when the pandemic was terrible. That time I helped a couple of women and some people in Malaysia to export hand gloves and from China, mask and all those. So this is something like help people, and some of them did not get help as well, and they feel that they are completely gone. It's not the case. A businessman cannot retire. A government servant can retire. You can say, I'm a retired joint secretary, or I am a retired director, I'm a retired colonel, I'm a retired general. But a businessman cannot say, I'm a retired businessman. A businessman, even Andrew Carnegie, has not retired, though he passed away long back. This Elon Musk will never retire, even if he's dead. Even the Steve Jobs has not retired till today because his business is running up and running. So even he's no more here in this world, he has not retired. Did he retire before he died? No, a businessman never retired. So a businesswoman never retired. So this is a very strong word, though. With all due respect to all my friends, some of our friends are really frustrated. That's why I'm telling you these things, that don't get frustrated. There are definitely hope against the hope. There are definitely lights end of the tunnel for sure. And we are the people that need to transform ourselves to be like an airplane. Like airplane will never take off in favor of the wind. Airplane needs wind against it to take off well. Same is the case while you are landing. So you will find every airport there is a small clothes, red clothes. You see, this is doing like this, meaning the pilot looks at that, because suddenly the wind direction may change. So the pilot has to land against the wind. Similarly, the business people are like that. The business owners are always like that. You need to work against the wind. You need to work and you need to be sustainable. You need to have that power. So this is what I'm saying. And thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to talk so much about this. But I appreciate that you are open. So we will be working together to open a number of countries in the next few months and years to expand your business. And I encourage all our friends, those who are here, to come up and contact us and talk to us and open up your mind and say what help you need. something that you need to open up. If you don't say that what you need, nobody will know what you need. It's very interesting affairs, really. Thank you. Any more questions to Mr. Alan Ho?
Yeah. Feel free to ask me any questions if you want to. Any curiosity or whatever that I can cure that.
Alan, can I check when is any events or any conferences for RCEP in China and Malaysia?
At the moment, there is none that I know of, because now China is closing back up because of the pandemic. There are no technically, if you ask me, governments around the regions are not really holding any conferences and so on. Whereas again, we initiated that. We are planning to hold one event in Malaysia, which is going to be big. We are now getting our prime ministers to give us the exact date. We are planning to hold it somewhere, if possible, this month, or if not, in May. We are going to launch the World ASEP Trade Forum and Investment Platform. So we are going to initiate this in every year. It will be different countries, but every time, like for example, this particular one that we are launching, we are doing this ASEP launching. We are doing it in a hybrid format where local in Malaysia will be present physically in the conference hall, whereas the 15 countries representatives and business people will participate virtually. So that is what we are planning now. As I said, sad to say, quite a number of countries, their governments are still dragging their feet, and all our presidents are moving around now. Start talking to the business group about ASEP and so on. You'll be surprised the response from all these business people are really enormous. They say, how come we didn't know? How come the government never talk about it? Yes, the government, I don't know what they are busy about, but by right, they should be creating awareness and so on and so forth. So how I create awareness in Malaysia is pretty simple. I work with newspaper. I invite them. I tell them, hey, what is ASEP? That is why reporter likes to come and interview me. So I appear in a local newspaper pretty often. I ask them to champion ASEP. They ask me, what do you mean? I said, why don't you have articles about ASEP every 2 weeks in your newspaper? Talk about it, so that it will benefit your readers. So this is what happened this Sunday. I'm flying over to Penang, where this Guanghua Press is taking my advice. They are going to champion ASEP. So that's why they actually take out the money and hold this conference, ASEP Trade Conference, in the northern region. So this is how we are giving it back to the not society, I would say, the community of business people. That's why I say, in the big corporates, they call they use this jargon CSR, correct? Corporate social responsibility. Whereas in our platform, we do CBR, corporate business responsibility. So we are doing a lot of things for business people. Not for social, but for business people.
And is there no coincidence? Your Australia representative is
oh, you know him? Yes, yes,
Josh is
yeah.
a great friend of us. Yeah, Josh is a good friend.
Fantastic guy.
I didn't know him. I managed to find him somewhere. And then he is willing to come on board. He did mention to me he knows Dr. Haider. Sabrina, you know him as well?
He's my business partner in Sydney, and also we do global investment on projects.
Very good. He is one person that pretty specialized in investment, because why, he is a former banker, and all the while he's in financial and so on. So it's a very interesting character. As I said, one thing I learned, I thought I know a lot of things, but when I venture into this setting up this platform in the 15 countries and so on, that's where I learned from so many of these presidents, because all of them are capable in their own respective field. From there I learned so much, especially, like, for example, I give you an example. SPAC listing. Have you all heard of SPAC listing? SPAC, Special Purpose Acquisition Corporation. There is a listing, public listing in NASDAQ for all the technology stocks and so on. 6 months ago, I know zero about this, until George, one of them is George, okay, introduced it to me, and the other one is our New Zealand president by the name of Prof. Dr. Mike Tam, all right? Both of them are good friends as well. They introduced me to specs, but I'm very, very happy to announce to you, in our platform, we already managed to list help one company to get listed in NASDAQ, which is called Canna Global Holdings. It's a cannabis technology listed company. And another company I'm also very happy to share with you is it's basically a company that I invested together with some of the friends in Vietnam. We also went for spec listing. 2 days ago, I already received news from our listing management consultant. It's already been approved. So now I'm just waiting for the official. So in such a short span of time, we are able to help 2 companies to get listed in NASDAQ. Can you imagine? So that is why our platform is pretty good. If you ask me, it's really pretty good.
Excellent.
Fantastic.
Excellent. Yeah, Josh, basically, Sabrina is the one, she's like a sister to me, and we know
Right.
each other years, and she's the one who introduced me. And I think we should introduce Murat to
Yep.
Alan as well.
Yeah,
so
we get all our brother and sister coming in so that
yeah,
able to
we
have
can-
the positive energy and also
Serious.
many implementations.
Correct. I totally agree with both of you. As I said, wonders will appear. Serious. There are things that you cannot imagine. Things that you alone sit down there and try to think about it will never happen. It is true. Friends and subordinates and associates. We see somehow he loves me, so he communicates with me quite often, almost every day WhatsApp me, But as I said, from converse so many years, he has been doing what he. Sometimes he will just the right time when strikes. Now I think is the right moment is here. Both our platforms should shake our hands and then move forward. So sometimes it's also about timing. It's also about timing. Life is very interesting. So you cannot force certain things. So you just leave it, do what is right. As I said, at the end of the day, things will fall in place. That's my experience. That's what I experience. So if you force it too much, it won't work, and then frustration will come. That is why I always tell all my friends and associates, if you want to partner with me, one thing I want to have an agreement with you. Please do not talk to me about profit will come. But if you only focus on how much I want to make, I said money is evil. If you do not know how to control it, it will blind you, or it will destroy your morale. But if you focus on what you want to do and you enjoy, come.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Now we Dr. Haider, Cambodia is having a big mega waste project. I will definitely to come in, because when ASEP is including Cambodia, it's already so easier to speak. Stranger, we are outsider.
Exactly.
Yes. Stay in touch.
So let's not stay isolated and being isolated by our government and politics. We as a business community, we should come together, and then be friends. As I said, today we know each other does not mean that immediately we can start off something. You know, you ask Dr. Haider, I know him for how many years? Actually, a couple of years already, quite a number of years. You know, somebody up there probably arrange it, you know. But as I said, we don't force things, you know. Both of us are never force anything, you know. Everything.
I'm looking forward to attend the physical the conference that you you to be actually of awareness.
Very low, very low.
Yeah.
Yes, very
And
low.
I'm a PR business marketing person, and when I never heard of it until George shared with me. And then when I also search for the article, it's actually very the volume is low, you know, about the write up or anything that you can Google it. Everything is very you say so minute. I mean the whole thing is not even exposed at all. So
Yes.
I'm glad that you are the one that propel the whole thing and then taking it to a different level. And then Hainan is the next Hong Kong that you mentioned. Because
Yes.
I believe Hong Kong is very sensitive now because of the riots before and a lot of issue. Hainan is actually a very, I use the word, a land of prosperity, an island of prosperity. And then Hainan is actually a God-created island. I mean, like what you say, it's just next Dubai or parallel of Dubai or faster than Dubai, because the amount of speed of the whole development is mind-boggling, you know. Thank you.
Yes, it's mind-boggling. You just Google it. Sabrina, by the way, where are you located?
Kuala Lumpur, KL.
Oh, Kuala Lumpur. Oh, so it's so near.
Yeah, I'll be visiting you,
Okay.
and also at the same
Yeah, we
time,
should. Yeah, we should keep in touch.
yes, we'll meet
Yeah,
up to
very
see
good.
that you said that April month or May that because it's a fasting month, Ramadan, we also
Right.
respect our Prime Minister. So when you actually get the date, Dr. Haider probably can fly.
That, you know, now that we have already sealed our decision with Dr. Haider that we are going to work very closely in the future. We want to combine both our platform for the benefit of trade. You know, as I said, I always look at trade and I always look at how to help others. Can you imagine when you talk about RCEP, I get my people to create a YouTube channel which is called RCEP 360 Trade Guide. You can Google it. It's an RCEP channel educating people on what exactly RCEP is. So I even get my staff to do videos on some of the 20 chapters that it is in RCEP in Bahasa Malaysia, so that our local business people who is not very well versed with English can actually benefit from it. You know, that's why I said this is what it is exciting about. You know, you're championing something, you give it back to the community. You know, so giving is always the best way of living. That's what I learned. You know, along my journey. You know.
And you found the right man, because Dr. Haider is the real ambassador of Africa and Europe, etc., etc. So no one is more suitable than my brother, Dr. Haider, to be with us, you see. So it's a blessing.
It is. As I said, I've known Dr. Haider for so long. That of course, as a business person, I observe what exactly he does. Whatever he is doing is basically like what I'm doing as well. It's basically in a different part of the world. You know, honestly, you know. So don't you think that both of us, our platform should combine and make it into one of the not one of the is the world largest trade and investment platform in now and in the future, you know. So there are so many excitement. RCEP is in the Southeast Asia region, 10 Southeast Asia country and the 5 FTA. But I don't think we should limit that. You know, there are loopholes for other countries to take advantage of it. You know, as I said, there are a lot of news frightening business people about RCEP and so on. Don't listen to them. Listen to yourself. You know, look at business and grow. You know, look at friends. Everywhere they are friends. As I said, do you know that recently, Sabrina, I was invited to attend the Selangor Halal 3.0 conference, you know, just 2 weeks ago. And for your information, I don't know whether I share that brochure in the Facebook. I am the only Chinese face in the whole Halal conference. and I'm the only Chinese speaker in the whole halal conference. That speaks quite a lot about me, right?
Yes.
So when I was there as a speaker, I said, today I am going to be the disruptive technology or disruptive person in terms of halal. So that's what I told the crowd. I have listened to most of the presenter who presented about halal. They are talking about halal product. They are talking about how to focus halal economy onto the 2 billion Muslims and so on. So when it comes to my turn, I just share with you what I say to the crowd. I say I look at halal in a different perspective, because why? I'm now planning, just to share with you all, I'm now planning to develop a Malaysia-China World Economic Halal Center in China itself. Now, why I'm doing that and how I look at halal, I said, why are you all limiting halal to 2.2 billion Muslim? Why not 7.7 billion of the world population? Everybody was shocked. Look at me. I said, it is true. I said, I don't think you all should continue to term halal and connect halal to Muslim or Islam. Technically, if you look at halal product, it's basically a product that went through stringent measures and process so that it comes out, it is safe for consumption. So this is also what I learned. From doing trading. Got one time, because of Europe trade war with China and so on, they stopped the importing of frozen chicken, meat, feet, and so on from Europe. So they approached me, can I help them? And so I said, well, I see what I can do. Now, when I talked to our China counterpart, he said, now we prefer to import halal meat, halal chicken. Can you source for me or not? Of course, I can source for them, because our counterparts is in Indonesia got huge supply of that. Then I asked them, I was just curious, I just asked them, hey, why do you want this halal chicken? Are you going to buy this to sell it to the 40 million Muslims in China? He said, no, we are not. We are importing halal meat, but we sell it to everybody. That is where it sparks me. Then I asked some more, why halal? Why? They actually disclosed this to me. Because to the government, even in Europe, it's the same, in some countries. Because to some of this government, they feel that by importing halal meat into their country, halal meat less contaminated. Chances of the meat being contaminated is so much lesser than non-halal meat. That's one of the reasons why they are doing that. Again, that is what sparks my thinking. He said that is why we should rebrand. That's why with my China counterpart, we are going to rebrand halal. We are going to disassociate halal to Islam. It's not about Islam, it's about a way of life. It's about a way of services and food are being processed and how it benefits everybody in the world. So instead of just they're talking about 7 trillion world economy, I would say if we are successful in doing what we are going to do with China, it's going to be 3 or 4 times more than that as far as halal economies are concerned. So even in Malaysia, I was not invited. I made an appointment to see HDC, Halal Development Council of Malaysia. I was told before I made an appointment, they are very egoistic. They don't even want to see me. I said I'm a Chinese, so probably they will not see me, because what a Chinese talking about halal, I'm not even a Muslim, But apparently, I think they heard what I said in the conference. They grant me the audience. The whole board actually had a meeting with me. I was very surprised. And then I share with them my thoughts. And to my surprise, they are agreeable to what I am saying. I said, I think most countries, I would say, including Malaysia, we are looking at halal in a wrong perspective. If we are only talking about certification. I said, in the whole halal economic ecosystem, certification is just one part of it only, But why are you fellows are focusing on certification? We should be looking at halal from the economic point of view and not certification point of view, So they buy my argument. So that is why now, again, I put another very heavy halal thing on my shoulder, which I'm going to champion that as well, Yeah, just to share this with you all.
Very good. Congratulations.
I love the way you mentioned, Dr. Haider. I love the way Dr. Alan mentioned that halal is a way of life, so that people from non-Muslim will be very impressed, the lifestyle of Muslim, because Muslim don't do things just Muslim do it with very high value. So this is a very big impact, and I believe this evening that the way we can communicate is actually bringing us to a very, very high level, very, very far on RCEP and many others. And also with this platform, I also thank Dr. Haider. He's the ambassador in ABWCI. It's a global business network starting from India. So Dr. Haider is the ambassador. He recommended them to take me as the president of Malaysia. So we are also supporting many women entrepreneurs and businesses to come in. So I must also know that RCEP, ABWCI, many other organizations can always work with you for a longer journey and a further journey. Thank you.
Definitely, Sabrina. I'm very closely related to all the association that is Women Business Association, the Women Bumiputra Business Association in Malaysia. So we are very close. So in the future, I probably can invite you to get to know them as well. It's just fantastic. Working with them, really.
Thank you. Really awesome. Thank you, Dr. Haider, and thank you to you, and also thank you to the team of Dr. Haider for hosting this evening for us to really get a very positive networking and also putting things into actions.
Thank you, sister. Any more questions to Mr. Alan Ho, to Dr. Alan Ho? We can see one of our friends from Mr. Ken Reuter from Canada. We have basically mobilized the whole world.
Oh.
People are from all around the world. We have people from Caribbean, from Guyana. We have our friends from Trinidad and Tobago, from Southern America, Uruguay, and Argentina. We have our friends from Europe, Africa, Asia, and Pacific as well. So you can see the amount of people, not too many right now, there are 31, but they're coming, going, altogether probably more than 50, but they're all from all around the world. It's not only one country or one region. You can see the whole world is here. So what I would suggest, if somebody has a question, please feel free to ask Dr. Alan, if there is.
I don't have a question, but I would like to appreciate Mr. Alan for his initiative to the program that he started at Sichuan Food Village project that I learned is really a good idea. Congratulations for that. And also for your financial our project at Hainan. It will be very good, I think. And for your halal thing, I would like to add one thing, that when we eat sashimi, and the fish named fugu, it needs some specific cutting. If you don't cut it in a proper way, it becomes toxic and you might die. So the same way, if you don't eat halal food, you will not die suddenly, but you will die day by day. So halal food is really good. So you can compare with sashimi cutting and also halal food cutting. When I was in China, I started to know that people hate halal food. They think that halal means Muslim people add something into the meat or something like that. No, it is not like that. So thank you for your initiative about the halal food. And one thing I would like to catch from your idea, that you said we are sitting in a gold mine. Yes, it's true. And also I will proudly say that I am sitting in a gold mine, that is my country, Bangladesh. How is that? Is that like, if you compare with China, when after 90s, when China started opening up to the world and started growing rapidly after opening up, we are in the same position right now in Bangladesh. Bangladesh is opening up. It started from 2015, gradually started. Right now we are in a boom, but for corona situation, it is on hold. If situation gets normal, then it will be a huge FDI coming to Bangladesh. So your idea about your RCEP is basically what it is doing in other countries. If it could do something in Bangladesh for in the sector of policy making for government, I think it will be a very good help for the government. Why I'm saying so? You said one thing that politicians. Yeah, it's true, but politicians, those who are in the government making policies for the entrepreneurs, for the business people, if business people come in the business making policy, then they can learn from them and input their, those policies in their policy making process. I think so. So we will appreciate if you come to Bangladesh and do something here for combining the community, those who will come in future. Because right now, my company is in service sector. We are especially serving corporate people and other FDI investments that come into Bangladesh. We find that there are lots of anomalies, lots of ambiguities that also we find that there are good policies our government is taking, but investors do not know that. And when they actually come to our local land, they find that they find many obstacles. They come with a good heart that yes, we are entering into a gold mine, that is Bangladesh, for future investment. But when they actually start, most of the people, I will say, if they are not big multinational companies, if they start from small scale, they fail and go back to their country within 2 to 3 days. And it happens mostly for Chinese people because they come alone and their communities are not that combined in Bangladesh, and they cannot speak a single word in English and also cannot speak Bangla. So there is a big gap. So it is my, I will welcome from Bangladesh if your organization come to our country and do something together for entrepreneurs. It will be a good help for China in future, I think.
Definitely. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. How do I call you? Dr. Mausumi, right?
Yeah.
Mausumi, right. Nice to meet you here as well. I totally agree with what you have just suggested. Now, you see, when we started our trade platform and so on, this is what I studied. It's just like government has been doing a lot of business matching and so on, helping a lot of entrepreneurs, but the results is not fantastic. You know why? Why? Before I initiated what I initiated, I did do research myself as well, so that I do not commit the same mistake as our past predecessor did. So why business did not flourish? Why so many business fail in foreign countries and so on? It is because I believe these business people do not have somebody who are local there to really assist and help them.
Right.
So that is why I created this trade and investment platform, so that every country I have a local person there helping you. It makes a lot of difference, I can tell you. If you have somebody local there, it makes hell of a difference. I wouldn't say that I will guarantee 100% success, but the chances of failure is diminished a lot. Yeah. So that is why in the near future, this is how, if I can duplicate and share with you what we are doing, and then you can duplicate that in your country, I can tell you it's going to be fantastic. It's going to be fantastic. Yeah.
I will study about your platform and know more about that. If I feel that yes, what I am looking for to help business community in Bangladesh, if I can connect with your platform, it will okay, I share with you. My dream is to become a bridge between China and Bangladesh, help them to invest more and become successful in their investment. So if your platform helps my idea and my goal, then of course we can work together and do something good for, especially Chinese people will be benefited from our collaboration. I think so.
Ken.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Any more question? I saw a question from Mr. Pasupati. He was asking you something in the chat. What is that?
Something like the difference, the different asset platform policy compared with Martrade in Malaysia. There's no differentiation as far as ASEP is concerned. ASEP is transparent. Everybody do the same thing. It's just that Martrade is also one of our enablers. We work with Martrade very, very closely. We work with Martrade. We work with, in fact, we have communication with all the Martrade representatives in every ASEP countries. You know, because why? Whenever there's a Malaysian company going into these countries, we will utilize them because they are government. That's why I always said we should be following or emulate what the success story in China what they have done. I just want to share with you. In China, I think their success is where, you know, and why they move so fast is, you know, their government acts as an enabler. Government acts, you know, it enable a lot of things for the business community. What moves the business and the economy are the private sectors. So that is why you see you have Alibaba, you have Tencent, you have Huawei. These are all private sectors, not the government that moves the economy. They are basically the enabler. So that is why, with the same principle, it's a very simple principle. What we are trying to do now is, we know our government have all these policies and so on, you know. So we talk to them, this is what we do, this is what we have. Okay, now let's work together. We can do things that you cannot do, I tell them, and they totally agree with me. You know, they totally agree with me, you know. So that is why now we work very closely with Martrade, with MITI, and with our local SME organization, and even with our Ministry of Economic Growth. So we work very closely with our government. As I said, being a private entity, we need our government support as well, you know, but we don't need their money, you know, but we just need their policy support. That's all we need. I say, I don't need your money. I don't need your money, you know, but if you have grants and so on, by all means, give it to the SMEs if they qualify for it, by all means, you know, but I am not asking for money. I just ask for your support, endorsement, and work together with us. So this is how I approach our Malaysian counterparts. Similarly, I told all the presidents in other countries to speak to their government in such a manner. We are not there to beg them. We are there to offer them, hey, we have this. You know, it will benefit your government if you work together with our platform. You know, we enhance your policies and so on. So let you be the champion of enabler. We will be the champion of movers. You know, so if you really look at China for that say, you look at their government are very supportive. You know, but their government never venture into business, but they get the private entities to champion everything. You know, that's how China technically conquer the world economy. Not the government, the private sectors. Yeah.
Sure. Thank you very much, Alan.
Did I answer your question?
Oh yes, Dr. Alan. Thank you very much. I think you
most
answered
welcome.
very well. Yes, you answered very well. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, are there any more questions from anyone? If not, then I will take the privilege to thank you, Dr. Alan Ho, for
You're most welcome.
Been very interactive sessions, and well, with this business summit held two summits in Kuala Lumpur in 2017 and 18 in Intercontinental Hotel Grand Ballroom, and we had in 2017 we invited about 150 investors and business owners from all around the world. From about 70 countries. And in 2018, we had about 250 guests, 250 investors and business owners, and some of the government, in fact. two of the president placed to come, but at last moment there was some bilateral issues with Malaysia that Malaysian Prime Minister could not host them, or you know, they wanted to, like the president of Central African Republic and president of Kosovo, they confirmed, and the advanced team, even the security team came, but at the last moment there was a problem that the Honorable Prime Minister Mahathir had to go to Thailand for an ASEAN summit. So we did not manage to host the two presidents, but it was going to be a horrifying event, you know, with two presidents coming with my invitation. So, but Sister Sabrina was there, and there were multiple ministers from all these countries representing the president. And in 2019, we had a smaller one in Thailand, in Bangkok. And 2020, we decided to do it also in Bangkok in Sofitel Hotel on 4th May. But unfortunately, you know, the COVID did not allow us to hold it. And 2021, last year, we held one in Toronto, where Mr. Reuter was there personally. And we had about 150 of our friends joined from all around the world. And I'm sure there are business getting closed. You know, so many businesses are getting closed into those events. And even the president of Guyana wanted to participate, but last moment he had also an issue, so he didn't come personally. But he was represented by his powerful minister, His Excellency Vikram Bharat. On behalf of the president, he spoke on the occasion, and you were there as well. So. Now this year in 2022 we are planning to host our summit in Africa, because Africa is close to my heart, number one. Number two, I have spent my 30 golden years in African continent, you know, a lot of time, that over 40 countries out of 54, not even an African president have visited so many countries. So I'm the very exceptional foreigners that have been to so many African countries, traveled in every corner of Africa. It's like inside my eyes. I see Africa is too small to me, you know, it's like that. But it's very resourceful. And with the given situation now that with the war and with the economic sanctions, I think even the war is stopped tomorrow. It will take at least 5, 7, 10 years to get out of this economic sanction and all those difficulties and so on to rebuild the things. So the business and the trade will take a different shape now, right now. I saw news here in Canada that the Canadian government is now, you know, they're changing their strategy, how they can produce more food, more export and all those. So it's a big country, and they produce a lot of wheat, maize, sunflower oil, and all those mustard oil, and lentils even. So now they're acting. Southern America, I'm talking to almost every day to the Brazilian friends and government, to Argentinian friends and government, and all those. And they are also, you know, ramping up with their production capacity in terms of agri-product and also energy. And, you know, those countries that are having problems with our friend Russians, that will be needing to explore energy. And the nearest place where they can look at is alternatively is just the other side of the river, is Africa. The other side of the Mediterranean Sea is Africa, and it's easier, you know, and then they have ample amount of energy and mineral resources that these Europeans can bank on, because Europe is like become a kind of an ER team, you know, we say warfare. I'm sorry to say with this word, but you can see this situation, you know, when if the Russia says, okay, no energy, they are into big problems. So I think these are geopolitical issues and related to the economic affairs. And this is a great time for Africans to also wake up and, you know, make a big jump and take these opportunities. And similarly, like our friends who are joining from Guyana, is going to be the world's largest, per capita oil producer by another 1 year or so, and that will be the richest country in the world. And right now they are the highest GDP growth country, 50 over percent, because of their population. You know, they are producing oil already, about I think 300,000 barrels a day, but their discovery so far is 20 billion barrels, and they have only 750,000 people. That's a small country like Singapore. And this will be even Dubai, they will buy off Dubai soon. I mean, they will surpass Dubai. They will surpass Singapore. I mean, the per capita income in Guyana will be crazily be going up. And you know, the this is how the countries, some of the small countries, are blessed, and they're coming up. So we are keeping an eye, as I said, that we have our eyes and our presence over 170 countries, 150 countries, and we keep an eye what is going on where. So in terms of business and economy. So we'll be hosting our next summit. Will be coming up with a date soon, but it will be somewhere in Africa. And please be prepared yourself and to travel to Africa. It's not very far from Southeast Asia. It's only a few hours and new place. And but I know the continent very well, and a lot of resources and a lot of things to do. Where you are struggling to make few dollars, probably you can make few $1,000s within the blink of an eye in Africa. That's the place, you know. They have everything, but they don't have the smartness to do things. That's how our Chinese friends and Indian friends are making billions and trillions of dollars from Africa, I tell you. They make a hell of a lot of money. I saw somebody came as a cleaner to clean the road few years back, 10 years back. Now he is driving a BMW and he has a big house. He has employed probably 4 servants in his house to clean his house. Just imagine. This is what I have seen in my own eyes, you know. So I think we should look at that. But the summit will be either in end of August or end of September. We have 2 dates in mind, 25th of August or 28th of September. These are the 2 dates that we have decided. We'll let you know. And then the second is the locations. Either it could be in the eastern part of Africa, like in Kenya or Tanzania, or in the center part of Africa in Ghana. So I'll be in Africa next week. So after the trip, I will be able to declare, we will be able to declare the date and the venue more specifically. And then all our friends will be invited to come and meet the investors and all. And with this note, I want to add up one more point before I leave, that we have now partnered with one of the largest, in fact, 2 of the largest investment banker in the world, one of the largest 20 investment banker, and they have deployed over $300 billion globally right now, and they're capable of deploying more than $30 billion single transactions. So some of our friends, those who are struggling, those who are in need of funding, please feel free. And it's very direct, very transparent, and very easy. And these companies from US, one is from USA, one is from UK. The US company is New York Stock Exchange and listed and regulated heavily by the Treasury Department of USA, and the UK company is similar in the London Stock Exchange. So these are 2 strong partners we have during last few months, and we are already committing a major funding for some of the projects that you have seen in this screen during our summits in the last 2 years. Some of them are already getting funding. I do not want to disclose because I don't have the authority to disclose their names, but some of them are really in the process of getting funding. So there are a lot of excitement and a lot of happenings, and we will really enjoy all these achievements during the Africa Investor Summit. I look forward to see you then. I once again thank you for supporting all these years, being with us, being our friends and patrons all together. And my team, thank you so much. Thank you very much for supporting these efforts all the times, day and night. We are strategically located in different places in the world. I keep on roaming around, and my team are strategically located in Southeast Asia, Middle East, and Europe and Africa as well. So I have Mr. Abhishek Busbia. He's a Mauritian, but he lives in South Africa. And I have Lima. She's based in Bangladesh. And we have other colleagues from Malaysia and India and Switzerland right now. So we'll be talking soon. During the Ramadan month, we will not have any webinar. I wish all my Muslim brothers and sisters happy Ramadan and Ramadan Mubarak, and all our friends peace and prosperity. And look forward to see you soon after the Ramadan. And then physically, I want to meet all of you, maximum of you, in African continent. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Haider. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye. Stay in touch, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay,
Yep.
bye-bye, bye-bye.
Bye.
See you all. Bye-bye.
Yep.